At 3:15 a.m. on August 14, 2025, Russia's logistics vessel, Port Olia 4, weighing over 13,000 tons, slid into the harbor at Astrakhan. Floodlights glared off its steel hull as cranes prepared to unload precious cargo. Inside those containers lay more than $22 million worth of Shahed drones, artillery shells, and Iranian electronics. On deck, Russian officers stretched and lit cigarettes, some raising vodka glasses to celebrate a mission they believed was complete. In the control room, sailors dozed at their stations. Distance, they thought, meant safety, but safety was an illusion. Across the Caspian Sea, hidden in the darkness, a Ukrainian reconnaissance team tracked every move. Through infrared scopes, the harbor glowed on their screens. Every crane, every radar sweep, every careless gesture of the crew was recorded. For weeks they had waited for this moment, the moment when Russia felt untouchable. From the night sky, three shadows advanced. Two UJ-22 drones flew forward, broadcasting signals like beacons, daring Russian radars to lock onto them. Behind them came the Dagger, the LUTN-196, a long-range strike drone carrying a warhead heavier than a man's body. Together, they formed a triangle of deception.
They're moving closer.
The decoys to distract, the blade to kill. Russian radars lit up with sudden blips. Operators shouted as alarms screamed through the bunker. Targets detected. The commander's voice cut the chaos. Activate Pantsir. Outside, two missiles streaked skyward, white trails scarring the night. Seconds later, two fireballs erupted over the Volga River, raining debris into the dark water. Relief filled the cabin. Laughter echoed. Clear, targets destroyed. But in war, relief often comes too soon. While Russian eyes looked upward, the real killer slipped below. The LUTN-196 banked low over the waves, sliding through a radar seam no wider than a highway lane. In a dim bunker hundreds of miles away, a young Ukrainian operator gripped his joystick, sweat beading on his brow. His heartbeat thundered in his ears as the target came into view. A steel colossus stacked with drones, engines, and fuel. At 3:49 a.m., the drone began its dive. The operator leaned forward, whispering almost to himself, "For Odessa." For Kyiv, then came the flash. A blinding explosion ripped through the ship's midsection, fireball rising over 300 feet into the sky. The blast punched through steel, ignited fuel tanks, and turned rows of drone containers into rocket batteries.
In seconds,
in an instant, Port Olia 4 became a floating torch.
Lighting
Cranes
the Caspian
toppled.
night.
Warehouses collapsed. Windows shattered across Astrakhan. Residents swore the ground shook as if struck by an earthquake. Secondary explosions thundered one after another. Shahed drones cooked off like artillery, their fragments raining across the port. Civilians rushed to balconies, children clinging to their mothers as the night sky burned orange.
I do not know.
For 3 long hours, Moscow stayed silent. State TV muttered about a warehouse fire, but satellites told the truth. The pier was blackened, the ship half submerged, its bow barely visible above the flames. Analysts would later call it a masterpiece of modern warfare. A drone cheaper than a family car had destroyed hundreds of Shaheds, cutting Russia's strike capacity by weeks. David had struck Goliath once more, this time on the Caspian shore. The lesson was clear. No fortress is safe, no distance too far. In modern war, speed, deception, and imagination can turn the smallest weapon into history's loudest roar.